Hello and welcome to Back Bedroom Art, and look at this little beauty. Look what I made. It is a little cabinet that opens and closes. You can hang on the wall. Looks like a little 3D picture frame, doesn't it? Oh, and did you see that? The wiring at the back. There is a light inside and you can switch it on and off. Now if you want to know how I made it, well, all you got to do is sit back, relax with a cup of tea and watch the video. Here we go. So all going well, you saw the finished product before I got into this box, because that's how I intend to do it. When I finish making this, I will then, with the finished product, do the start where I go, welcome to Back Bedroom Art. So I don't know how it's going to turn out yet. You do. You're ahead of the game on me. But yeah, this is the box. So let's open her up and see what's inside, see how it comes. Ooh, I do like these, like mystery box openings. So I know it's a picture frame. I know what it is. It's sort of deep to give it that 3D effect. So obviously I've got the bits for the picture frame, which I'll put to one side. I'm sure you're interested in all the other bits. So when it comes, this is how it was packaged. Then I've got a bag for the bits. Oh, let's get these bits out as well. So a bit of glue, a ruler, I'm sure that'll come in handy, and some tweezers. I have got loads of other bits and pieces. I mean, I got my craft scissors. I got other stuff. I'll let you know what wasn't in the box I had to add. So obviously the craft scissors I would have had to have added. And we got some lovely instructions. So let's put the box to one side. Oh, and you got, if I open this up, all the sort of like boxes and plates, the flooring, the background. So there's a lot of stuff to cut out, hence why I knew I was going to need these. So I'm going to put that to one side. And then we got, whoa, look at all this. There's going to be a lot of putting together. I mean, look at this, all the like little flowery stuffs. Because if I remember, there's like a little pot of flowers, isn't it, at the bottom? It's so intricate. It also lights up. So I've got a little bit of electrical wiring to do. I'm guessing that's the table and chairs. Cool, cool, cool. So, oh, blimey. Here it goes, here's all the instructions. So I think a lot of it is going to be quite simple. It's just making the thing. And then once you've made it, it's just putting it all together to create that. Should we do the first bit then? What I'll do is I'll work through the book, and you can see me work through the book. So you'll get an idea of how difficult it is. And if I grumble and moan, then it's obviously going to be difficult. If I say, yeah, that was easy peasy, trust me, it was easy peasy if I could have done it. Right, let's do the first bit first then. So it looks like we start off with by making the actual box. So we fill it in with the wallpaper, ceiling and the floor. So we cut it out, stick it in. Then it's the clear perspex things, which forms the actual, well, I suppose fake glass that goes on there. We attach to that, then the hinges, and then it can open and close. And then we've got the box complete. So I suppose I better start cutting this out and sticking it in. So part of the thing I have to cut out is this middle bit, and I'm sure you all know this old trick, and it's what I got taught at school. For those of you who don't know it or forgotten it, just be careful not to crease it, but just gonna cut a little hole, and then we're off and running again. Yay! Because I need to cut around the inside, remove that inside bit. Oh, that's always a pain. Right, you don't want to watch me cutting this out. Catch you in a sec. So there's the three first bits cut out, including the middle bit of that. It's a shame that it was all folded up in the box, because it is a little bit of crease, but I'm hoping as it's glued into the box, we can sort that out. Right, box then. Right, so I've got to glue it in, so just put some glue in. Thing is, I know I'm going to use too much, but I don't want it not sticking, if that makes sense. Oh, it's school glue. It's school glue. Right. So now, and I'd already placed it in to see how it fits when there was no glue. So now it's just a case of popping it in, smoothing it round. As I remember with this sort of glue before, you got quite a bit of work time. It's just a case of squishing it in. And if there's any bits that need it, just a bit of glue around the edges. And voila, it's a stuck. So let's just come over this side, a bit of glue there. And that corner, it's always the corner, isn't it? Okay, so make sure I go along, make sure it's all in. It's looking pretty. That's everything you need, bit of tissue. So let's just get that bit of glue in the corner. I'm sure it won't be a problem because this stuff does dry quite kindly. Ooh, it's gone a little bit lumpy bumpy. I think that's mainly because of the glue. Or the type of glue. So I'm just going around smoothing it down. It's looking like wallpaper when you stick wallpaper. Cool. Which should sort itself out when it dries. So, looking good so far. Right, now we've got to put the flooring in. So let's do that corner as well. It's always the corners you've got to watch. Splodge. Okay. Get a bit of glue in the corners. Along the edges. And let's pop the floor in. Now where's my tissue? But so far, so simple. It was a little bit too heavy-handed with the glue there, but it does glue dry, clear rather. Yes, bit like wallpaper. It will go smooth when it dries. So it just means the top bit now. So it's not the easiest thing to use. This, it's got like a twist nozzle. I swear it twists shut. Okay, so let's pop you in. Ooh. And where's the tissue? So that's that bit done. Okay. Like I said, it will dry flat. Okay. So let's worry about the hinge, because we've got a bit to go on. But before we do that, I'm going to put this on. Okay, so I just stuck that bit on with a bit of super glue while that's drying. I suppose I'll fix these on. So what you get is the hinges. This is going to be fun because it's so small and my fingers are so big. I mean, look at the size of my fingers. It's going to be very hard. I've already got super glue all over my fingers. Yes, I am a messy pup. But let's pop the hinges on. They basically go, obviously, surprise, surprise, on the edges here. Okay, so there's the hinges on and the thing that you sort of attach it to the wall if you want on the wall. Don't forget to use your ruler. Make sure you get it dead center. And same with the hinges. And if I turn it over, we've now got badonk, an opening thing. Lovely. So I'm guessing next is to start populating inside the box, building the furniture. Here we go. So these are the items I need. The bee packages. So I got a bee. It says some of the dried flour, which I'm guessing is some of that. Yeah. So let's get making. So these are all the bits laid out for the table and chairs. So that goes with that. That's the table. There's some string that I've got to wrap around this. I'm tempted just to leave it, but nope. Nope. I'm going to do it right. I'm going to wrap that string around that. There we go. That was a lot of fun. And I'm saying that massively sarcastically. My tip to you is when it says on here to cut 70 centimeters down, just fold it over and cut it in half. You need equal amounts. And cutting it 70 centimeters meant I only probably had 50 for the other side. Yeah. So one side was too long, one side was too short. I measure twice, cut once. That's what I'd say. So, but it's done. It's done. So I've got that bit of the seat. So let's start building the rest of the chair. Let's put it all together. Right, go Jenna. It's the first time of making stuff like this, and it's very fiddly, especially you've got big hands. But there's the chair. I wouldn't want to sit on it if it was a real thing. I'm sure it'd collapse. But yeah, there you go. That's that bit done. So now we've got a table to do. I really wish I hadn't noticed, but I realised why the chair looked rickety, and it's because the crust bits at the bottom. But my God, that was hard. I got more glue on my fingers than I have on the actual thing. Right, now it's definitely the table. And this is how I spent most of the time building these, with it stuck to my blimmin' fingers. Alright, so that's the table done. And the chair. Oh, and there's a little like cloth that's supposed to go hanging on. Hang on one sec. So I haven't got scissors that cut the crinkly outlines, so it's just a normal tea cloth. So there you go, that'll do. Right, so the next thing to do is make this pretty little basket. So I need A605, cut it out, do that, then get A66, and that goes inside, that wraps around, cloth. I think I'll work it out. Pretty much I need to cut these two things out and wrap it in this cloth. Right, let's see how that turns out. Right, got it. So first bit, you make this. Just got to glue it so it's all firm. Then that is a template to cut this out. And then you wrap that around this. And then the cloth sits inside. Got it. Here we go. Let's see what it looks like. So that's how I've done it. I just marked it out. Boop, 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 boop. Let's cut it up. Looks a bit like a plaster to me. So all I've got to do is stick it on and then wrap it around. And then it gets covered with that lovely, I suppose, blanket. By the way I apply the glue, good old cocktail stick, tends to be a lot neater, and you can sort of really get it into the nooks and crannies where you need it. That's my little tip. Right, I'm going to show you me doing all of it, but I just got to go around and do the edges and then fold it in. So that's that done. And a little cloth. I'm going to do the cloth, stick the cloth down later because I want to see how it looks with the other things, but it just goes inside, you know what I mean? And it sort of goes out around the edges. But I wanna see how it looks with the bits inside before I do any gluing or that. All right, push that to one side for now and move on to, whoa, look at these plates. Gotta have some plates, haven't you? So that's how they look. You cut out the circle. There's a little slit in there so you can sort of make it like almost like a cone, and then that sticks at the bottom to make the plates. So without further ado, let's make the plates. Right, so it's not immediately obvious how to do these. So save you a little bit of trial and error and a bit of grief. I'll show you how I did them. So obviously cut out these two first of all. So there we go, they're both cut out. Now it does say to cut along the solid line. So if I just use my pen to show you, I'm not going to draw on it, but there's the solid line that goes around like that. My advice is cut one, go all the way in a circle, but don't then cut across like that, just across. I'll show you what I mean. There you go, so you end up with what looks a little bit like pencil shavings. So it's the reason I say don't cut both sides is because that forms your tab, if that makes sense, where you would stick it. Because now we've got to go along and cut all the little lines that radiate in, because these then fold to form the base for that. So there you go. I've cut the tabs and then I've just folded them in, as you can see. I've not been neat about it because it doesn't need to be neat at this stage. What I need to do though, I can do it. Ugh, there we go, that's better. Is glue the tabs. So a big dollop of glue. Ooh, not that big. There. And then just make sure you fold it the right way, Paul. There you go, and then it's just a case of just holding it for a few seconds. It ain't super glue, so don't worry about it sticking to your fingers. And there we have that bit of the plate. Now this has got to stick onto that. So this isn't the easiest bit, because all I want to do is put a dab of glue all the way around on the tabs, like so. The hardest bit is actually just getting a bit of glue on the end, but not having loads. Okay, and now that's on there, get the lid bit, I don't know what you'd call it, the base, pop it in. Ooh, press it down, but try and get it. Come on, don't be nasty. Try and get it central. Fold up the edges, get it off your finger, and voila, we got another plate. I got 3 done. I don't like the little line where they join, but you know, it's with something as cheap as this, you're going to get it. But it don't look too bad. It is what it is. Right. Oh my days. One more to go. I not dislike doing these, but it's not been my favourite thing. They are fiddly for big fingers. Well, that's the best I can do. These are supposed to be croissants. Croissants. It does make me laugh because it is very much a case of, oh, this will do. Where is it? Right here. That's how you do the croissant. Crumble the paper, wrap it up, and then just bend it. The donuts, 2 strips of paper. Do it like that. And then twist them together to make a donut. Yeah, very interesting. Very cheap and cheerful. Right. So there's the food. Not sure how it's, if I like it or not. So you got a croissant and a donut and a bag full of I think it's supposed to be sweets, a little bit of veg, tomato and a croissant. I'm not sure, I'm really not sure if I like that, but it's what you get, and it's, I build it exactly as they said. All right, let's move on to something else. It looks like the next things to do are things like, and you can actually see, can't you? Look, there's my little plate and there's my bag. Looks like we're going to be making some water jugs. So these are the templates. Cut these out, then cut out the same size shape on here, and then you, well, create your water jug. So here's all the bits and a little bead. So let's stick it all together. So there's the first bit. Ooh. Then that gets stuck on there. Then we create that, which goes in there. Ooh. Well, it goes in there anyway. It's the picture bit, isn't it? Okay. And there you go, one jug, which is just drying now. So I'm going to leave it to one side and let that settle. Now the cup is just a little bit of gold paper wrapped around a bit of tubing. So that's a big bit of it. Look, look, look. Yes. My big fingers. I just want to crush it all. Yeah, so what I've got to do next, if I can bring it into camera. Moving everything around. There it is. All I've got to do now is do like a little twisty thing. Even their pictures aren't neat, are they? So I don't feel bad about mine. But that's the thing about Doll's House, isn't it? I don't think you get too close. Right. Twist and bend. Oh, you know what that's going to do, isn't it? That's going to go right under my finger now. Here we go. Just if I do this bit, it does say cut out 2 parts. Why not just do one part, which is 4.4, and then bend it over, which is what I've done. So I'm just going to bend it over. Doop, doop, doop. Just like that. And now, as it said to do, just twist. It seems to be, oh, I'm sorry if this is, I'm going to zoom up and come out a little bit. It seems to be a better way of doing it than what the book says, because I like simple, and getting 2 bits together would be awfully hard. Just one twist at the end, and then it's, what it says is just do a loop to loop, isn't it? So loop to loop. Do you know, I'm going to use the pen. I twist it around the pen. I think I should get the required loop to loop. Well, pretty damn close at least. So all that is then is stuck onto the cup. I'm going to do it in the crease. So just get stuck on. Oh, very nice. Very pretty. I use super glue. And there it is. 1 cup. Right. And now I've done that, I'm on to part C. And I think that will probably do me for a little rest. Let's just have a little look at what I have done. So that's what I've made. I made some plates, a plate of food. There is a basket with a croissant, a donut and some sweets. And then a cup and a pitcher. Some's turned out better than others, but I have done it exactly as they asked me to. I suppose the finished article might look better than what I'm seeing. That looks like it's got soup. That's my finger gone. There it is. It looks like it's got soup at the bottom of it, doesn't it? A little bowl of chicken soup. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put these in the diorama, see what it looks like. Yeah, from a distance it does look better, doesn't it? Yeah, those plates, I can't put them in yet. There's like, where's my finger? There's like a shelf that goes on the wall, and then the plates sit on the top. It's looking all right, isn't it? For a first attempt. Never be apologetic for your first attempt. It's never going to be the best. Can you imagine how my next one would turn out? Right, so what's the next part? Part C, wasn't it? Let's move on to that. Now, this is more like it. I like building things like this. So we're going to build ourselves a wall cupboard, and the plates I did earlier sit on top of it, and a shelf. And then we'll get rid of these food bags, but we're going to concentrate on these two first of all. So here's all the bits. And it is nice because white is wall shelf, yellow is wall cupboard. There's not really a lot to it, is there? Looks interesting having to make these, but yeah. So I'll put these together. I think you can pretty much appreciate how it's going to go. There's not a lot really to see other than a bit of glue in. But I am looking at this bit. So you've got the top bit. Mine looks different to the picture. I know it says the picture can look different. Oh, I see. C1, C2. Stick them together. Then it creates, yeah. Right. I take it all back. Right, let's get the glue in. Right, after getting thoroughly annoyed at it, don't do it like that and then stick those on. Stick the shelves on and then stick it onto the top there, because no matter where you try and place it, you can't get the exact distance. So yeah, I'll show you what I mean. On here, yeah, I'm using super glue, by the way. I gave up with that PVA stuff a long time ago, yeah. Just get your glue on. Oh. So you have to excuse me, I've got glue everywhere because I really I said many a time before, yeah, I always think second go is what, you know, like that's where you perfect things. Following the instructions on here, yeah, I've found has been harder than actually just looking at it and logically thinking, now how would I do this best? What am I doing? So let's spin that round. Stick you on. Ooh, let's make sure they're, yeah, that looks good to me. Because when I then go to stick it on here, obviously it's going to be the right distance, which was the issue I've been having. So now I'm going to just stick this bottom one as well, which, oh, dropped on the floor. That's obviously knocked it out of kilter. Picked up a hair. So is it? No. So these are desk drawers, so it obviously has to go that way. Okay, so I can then stick that one there, or rather the other end. So stick the glue on. Glue on. And in it goes. Then the heat of my hand, ooh, maybe a bit of air. Okay, is it going to stick? There was me a minute ago saying this is my favourite bit, but you know what I mean. So let's just adjust it slightly. Good. There we go. So the trick now is just letting the heat from my hand and my warm breath making the glue set, because super glue sets with heat. So all I've got to do is heat it up slightly, which is again what my big putty fingers are doing. In fact, it's probably, yep, there we go. Lovely stuff. So now, when I stick it on there, it's all where it needs to be. Blimmin' heck. Like I said, that's why, oh, That's why a lot of times I don't bother reading instructions. It's easy just to look at it and work it out yourself. Right. Let's skip to the next bit. Right, next time I say I enjoy this or I'm going to find this easy, ignore me. I'm just letting it glue. I know it's slightly wonky. I know it's not perfect, but when I tried to correct it, 10 minutes later, I got back to this stage. It's better than it was. I know what awaits me if I try and adjust it, so I'm going to leave it. Well, I just realised I've got to cut a bit of paper out and stick on the top. But other than that, they're done. Hooray! Not sure what it adds to it, but yeah, it's at least I can say I've done it as per the instructions. So now that I've done those, I'm going to do some food bags, and the food bags means cutting out and sticking stuff together. So yay, more glue on my fingers. So we start with this after cutting it out and sticking together. Then a bit of cloth sticking out, stuck that in. Yeah, I knew that would happen, so I did. Right, I'm going to just stick that back in. I'm just cutting out the labels for the bottle of wine. My God, my hands are too big for this. But when you're making something for your darling daughter, you persevere. Oh, I just hope I don't get asked to do another one soon. I am enjoying it, don't get me wrong, but it's not easy. I mean, my fingers are massive, and I honestly am getting more glue on my fingers than on anything else. Give me something big. Although, I reckon, let me do some more of this, and I'll soon get a dab hand. So, I don't think it's focusing on anything, is it? I can't even do the camera at the moment. Oh, there you go, that's better. Right, so what I've got is got some bits for the wine. Now I've got to stick that on that from the bottle, and there was a tiny little bit somewhere. Where's it gone? The problem is there's so many tiny little bits, it's very easy to lose sight of them or lose them completely. But there's a bit that goes inside. You can probably see it there, so I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to go looking for that, stick the little bit round, and it sticks. Yeah, I think you know how it goes. And then there's some dried flowers in that bead to make a little bowl. Right, I'll find it. Here we go, onwards and upwards. I think it's got a little bit confused. It says cheese and bread, and I've got some sample text, wine, and to be honest, that little pot, I can't fit it in there with that, so it's going to have to go separate. But yeah, there you go. There's a bottle of wine in a cheese bread box. It's all right. I'm guessing this goes somewhere. I don't know. We'll find out soon. Onwards and upwards. Next up is a lighthouse. Oh my days, this looks very busy. So it's a lot of cutting out of bits. And yeah, just make it. I think the easiest way to both stick it down and shape it is using a screwdriver. Just sort of mold it around it. It's a tube that isn't quite symmetrical, so it's not the easiest of things, but that's the best I'm doing. Badonk. Badonk. I'm guessing that then just you can't see what I'm doing, can you? And then that just sits on top. It's not brilliant. It's not brilliant, but it's getting there. With a jaunty little twist to it. So it's two little circles of cloth stuck together to form, I suppose, the rocky base. Why is it everything I do I then have to immediately drop? But there's the base, and you can see how it's going to start coming together with a lighthouse and then sticking on the rocky base. What else is there? So I've done that, I've done that. Oh, Gordon Bennett. Why is everything so small? I suppose because it's a small doll's house. Come on, Paul, get with the program. Right, so I'm supposed to have saved 2 centimeters of this string. to use for the lighthouse, for this little bit here. It doesn't mention it earlier on, so I used all of it. So I don't have any string to wrap around my lighthouse. I'll leave a little note if I remember when I do show the bit where I did the chair, saying save 2 centimeters. But yeah, what I'll do is I'll try it with a bit of wire instead. We'll see, because I think it's just for like decoration. It's, you know, give it a little bit of 3D-ishness. 3D-ishness. There you go. Come up with a new word. Right, let's see how that turns out with just a little snip of this white wire. No, correction, I'm going to use 2 centimeters of this from later on, because I just realised that wire I need for something else. Gordon Bennett, you've got to read ahead. I suddenly thought, would this wire maybe be used later on? And it is. I reckon I can get away with 2 centimeters of this stuff. Yeah, I think I've got away with it. It's just a darker shade, that's all. Right, there it is, in all its glory. Oh my days, that was hard. Yeah, and you got to remember, this thing is absolutely tiny. I mean, it's in my thumbnail. It's absolutely tiny. How I've managed to do that, I will never know in my life. This is definitely easy if you've got smaller hands. But yeah, it turned out all right. I'm quite happy with that. Right, shall we move on to something else? In fact, we're on to the D package now. Ooh. So it's not quite the home straight, because we've still got a fair bit to go, because we are onto the D package. Oh, get that out of the way. Oh, look, exciting stuff as well. Electronics. I love that stuff. So, what have we got to make? Well, we've got to make a sack, some fruit baskets, a milk bottle. So we are, oh, that's it. Page 10, and then the final page 11. And we got some like handbags, photos, and the oil lamp, which I'm really looking forward to doing. Right. Let's get into this. Let's start with the sack. Sack looks easy, doesn't it? It's just a little bit of hessian. Bit of wadding. Wrap it up with some of this stuff. And voila, you got a sack. Oh, there's a little sign to go on it. Potatoes. Okay. That looks very tiny. You watch as my big fingers struggle with that. I mean, that is probably life size as well. Or maybe not quite, because there's the potato thing I've got to stick onto it. Anyway, let's get on with it. Let's do the sack. Well, I wasn't expecting to read those words. Sewn as photo shown. So I've got my bit of what's it called, folded over. And now I've got to sew up the sides. Oh, do you know what? It's lucky I've got a needle and thread, isn't it? All right, let's sew it. So I've got to sew up one side, sew up the other side, and just make a what's it called? Well, the sack, basically. Not my idea of fun. I'm more of a sewing on buttons kind of guy. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm leaving quite a gap as well from the edge, because the material doesn't look exactly the strongest. So if I was to show you like there, I'm leaving quite a gap. But what I can do is I can either cut off the edges if I so desired, or because it's a sack, they always have that like overlap, don't they? So I think it'll be all right. Should really be whistling as I do this, shouldn't I? Maybe not. Right. Let's skip, because you don't want to see me sewing. It's pretty boring. Right, so that's it all sewn up. Not the neatest of sewing, but it is a sack of spuds after all. So now I've got this stuff, which I'm going to, well, shove inside my newly formed sack. I can open up the damn thing. It just wants to close. There we go, got some in. So rather than having lumpy spuds in there, it's going to be more like a pillow. Yum, yum, yum. I don't know if I need to use all of it, because obviously I want to be able to close it up with that sort of no, I need a bit more in, otherwise it's not full enough. Okay, so it's just that tying at the top now, isn't it? Here we got our sucker spuds. It's a bit fat, doesn't it, at the bottom? No, again, it's a sack of spuds. What? Don't overthink it, Paul. Right. What I got to do is find this stuff. It wants 10 centimeters. So we find 10 centimeters. Which is all the way down here. Then it wants me to separate it because it's like two entwined. When two become one. It's amazing how many songs I can butcher within a few seconds. So there's the Spice Girls now suing me. And all I've got to do this is just wind it around the top. It puts some silk one in. And I'm guessing you just stick that potato sign on randomly with a bit of glue. God, this stuff is really wrapped around itself. Let's just twist it a few times. Yeah, obviously this is not my forte, tying. Oh, let's take a bit of the wadding out. They've got half a sack of spuds. And let's just tie a knot. This is not easy. No, don't do that. I should edit this bit out. This is just me struggling, isn't it? There we go. We've got a sack of spuds. it looks a bit like it. It's just those threads out. If I maybe tighten the knot a bit, but this, you know, like when you, I'm just going to tear it, aren't I? I know what will happen. Right, let's stick on the sign for the spuds. It's very nice. It's like a pillow. Right, so I just glued the sign on. Rather than potatoes, apparently there's just the one potato in there. Very large one for a very large jacket potato. Right, I'm semi-happy with that. It wasn't what I expected, a little bit of sewing, but I just want to do the electrical bit. Right, what's next? A fruit basket. Here are happy days. Right, so fruit basket. This bit here, I had to read it a couple of times, get my head around it. Cut out via the real line, fold via the broken line. So you've got dotted lines, which are going to be where the folds are, and the solid lines, or as they call them, real lines, we can do your cuts. Makes sense. Real lines. So cut along the solid lines. And then fold on the creases. Just like that. Right, let's build this sucker. Okay, so there's the little baskety bit. Now I just got to wrap this stuff around. So a lot of glue in and a lot of sticking. Here we go. It didn't turn out as well as I hoped. But luckily, it's going to be filled with fruit. So all that creasing inside, you're not going to see. Right, let's do the fruit. Whew. Right, I said it once, I'll say it again. If you've got big hands, this is fun. But there you go, there's my little fruit basket. You can still see a little bit of glue as it's drying. Please don't drop it as you turn it around, Paul. But there you go. Looks alright, doesn't it? I mean, the further you get away from it, the better it looks. Okay, so now it's just a little plant pot with a little plant. Hopefully this one will go a little bit quicker than the others. So I'll cut a bit of green wire to length. Now I've got to turn it into like a love heart. So I think the best thing to do for that is to turn it like that and then angle it out like such, bend in the middle, and these twist out. Yes, like a love heart. It's got to be 1.2 centimeters. I hope I luckily just did that. 1.2. 1. I probably will get away with it. Yeah, I'll get away with it. Ew, a little cute. And all I've got to do is wrap this stuff around it. So, never easy. Never easy. Right, let's get a wrapping. Nope, that's all you're getting from me. I tried. And it's a little bit chaotic. But I like it. I like it, and that'll do. That will diddly do me. Not looking forward to doing the milk carton or the milk bottle. I am tempted not to bother with it, but nope, I will do it. It involves cutting out lots of little bits, sticking lots of little bits together. I'm not going to bother you showing me struggling through that with my little hands. I'm just going to have a go. Right, so it's going to fade. Hopefully when it appears, I'll have cut out all these little bits and stuck them together correctly. I changed it up a little bit. Rather than having that tiny little, whatever the hell that is, bit of scrap rag, I've gone for that. Ooh, so it's got a proper rag. Tea towel. When you lift the handle. Yeah, there you go, that's that. That's done anyway. Oh, and what's really nice is if I turn over the page, oh, random little thing, is I've got a handbag, photo frame, the oil lamp to do, and it's done. Oh my gosh, home straight, last page. Right, so handbag. Ooh, what have we got to do there? Well, the photo frame is easy. You cut out the picture, you cut out the frame, stick it on a bit of card, which I've got, and voila, you've got that. So I'm just going to do that. I'm not going to bother showing you. The handbag, though, that looks interesting. So I've got this material. I have to cut out a template, but the template on the material, so cut out the shape of the material, glue a little bit of a handle on it. Oh, I'm not sure I want to do that. I keep saying that, I don't want to do it. Yeah, well, do I do it or don't I? I don't think I can actually, because to be honest with you, a few people have complained that they haven't got the parts, and I'll be honest with you, I don't have anything to do as a handle. I really don't. I've run out of all that material. I suppose I could use some of this. I used to do the oh, go on. I used this to do the sewing earlier on. I'll use this. Adapt, improvise, overcome, and all that malarkey. Oh, I'm glad I didn't cut it out. It's not actually a template. You use it as a base, so you just fold this over and stick it to it. So it gives it some stability, I suppose. Right, I'm just going to cut little nicks into the corners so I can fold it round. There you are, officially my least favourite parts to do. Picture frame just crumbles as you try to do it, because obviously you've got to cut out the inside, leave the middle, and that handbag. Oh my days! I suppose it goes with the old rusty clock. You know what I mean? Nothing's quite perfect in this house. Obviously, if you can tell a little tale, So I can remember. It's weird. It's right. I've not just randomly stuck a shell on. It does say to do it. So I'm going to say there was a big argument about the food. They were saying that the croissants looked like crumpled up piece of paper, and how dare they serve that? And then plates were thrown, and the picture frame fell down and crash, and that's what we ended up with. So yeah, tell a tale. Mind you, just looking at the next one, it looks like the picture is sort of hidden behind the lamp anyway. So, whew, might get away with it. Right, let's make the lamp. I've only got to do the lamp, and it's done. And then it's just well, sticking it all inside. So the lamp don't look. Don't say it. Just build it. Just build it first, Paul. Red with white, black with grey. So I'll do the black because I've got that in my hand here. So black with grey. Okay. Why they haven't just done this beforehand, I don't know. But what you want to do is obviously connect the exposed wires on both. And I'm just wrapping around so that they're connected. We've got some sort of semblance of togetherness. And I've cut these stickers into, ooh, get on there, into little strips. So all I've got to do, lucky I have got fingernails, although they are sort of covered in glue, is peel and peel the sticker off. Also make it wide enough so that you can cover the whole of it. And if I was being neat, which I'm not obviously, I would have made sure that none of the wires are exposed, but they're connected and they will stay connected. That's not the neatest connection ever. But then again, I'm just using what they gave, because what I could do is I could do it myself. I could snip the ends off, strip them, use proper electrical tape, but I'm just trying to show you how they say to do it. I mean, obviously that'd be a neater way, the way I just said, but we'll go with what they got. Otherwise it's not true reflection, is it? Because not everyone can do that or has got the equipment. Just lost it. Gonna have to cut another bit off. So we'll just use what they got. So these stickers will do the job. Anyone who does electrics or wiring is probably like screaming at me right now. All you're trying to do though is connect the two wires and stop it from shorting out by being able to touch anything metal. So the sticker that they give you, just, let's face it, pretty pants. I so want to get my electrical tape out and just do it properly, but there you go. There you go. So need to put a battery in here. What have we got to put in here? I'm not going to have them, am I? Right, so with some of the most dodgiest wiring you'll ever see. 2 AAA batteries. We've got a little LED. Obviously that's going to be going in there to be the lamp. And very pretty. Okay, let's build said lamp. Because we are on the home straight now. We are on the home straight. I'm going to put the case back on, otherwise I'll lose it. Right, I managed to get this on. My advice is before you do that, thread this bit through, because otherwise you've got to try and squeeze it over the top. But yeah, there you go. Then that goes on there. And then how this bit goes. Does that stick in there like that? No, makes no sense, does it? I think that goes on top like that. And that goes in there like that. Yeah, that looks about right. And if I can sort of hold it all together. This little lamp. I just got to super glue it together. Okay, so that's the lamp almost completely built. All I've done is I've cut off 3 bits from this, and then I'm going to stick them on. Well, you'll see in a second. Actually, I'll just show you. So there it is. Turn the light on. Dunk, dunk. Right. I suppose it's just got to get all the bits in now. Right, so all the stuff is made. Just got to get it all put away into here. Right, next thing you'll see is the finished article. Go on, just one last time. Ba-donk. I do like that. So there we have it. Finished. Hooray! I do like it. I mean, the door opens up and you've got all your various bits in there. Oh, and don't forget the piece de la resistance. Turn the little light on. How sweet is that? I like it. I like it a lot. Turn it on and off. Bit of Morse code. The box has a little hinge thing, so you can hang it on the wall if you want. If I was doing this as my own way of doing it, I wouldn't have the lead coming out the top. I'd drill a hole in the wall and just have the lead going out the back. But it's all right, isn't it? But you can see so much going on in it. I'm going to zoom in just to show you. So, like the little cabinet on the wall, the light, like a little handbag hanging, bouncing around, the table. I stuck it with a bit of super glue, the cloth, and I wish I hadn't. It looks like, but it does look like someone just spilled a bit of drink on there. Wine, all the various bits, all stuck into place. I very much like it. And what I'll do is I'll leave a link to the item itself, the leisurely lunch. I didn't do too bad a job, did I? It's very similar. So I'll leave a link to the item, and then if you want to buy it yourself, you can use that link and go straight to Amazon and buy it. There's other ones as well. So let me know in the comment sections if you'd like me to do one of the different ones. Other than that, all I'd like you to do is leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and leave a comment for me to know what you think of the leisurely lunch. Look after yourself, those you love, and I'll see you in another video real soon. Cheerio, everyone. Bye.